Let's take a look at some more amazing weapons in Borderlands 3 that you totally want to use in the Mayhem mode. I already highlighted some very strong guns here on the channel, but we actually discovered some other weapons, and some of them will not be as familiar. So let's get into it. Would of course be nice if you could leave a like on the video, it really helps the channel out. And let's go. Let's start with an Atlas assault rifle, the Q system. That is not legendary, but you can actually find it in many other rarities, although the purple one is obviously the best. And the nice thing about this weapon is that you shoot 2 bullets at the same time while you only consume 1, so this significantly increases your damage output. And yes, it's an Atlas weapon, so you can shoot the tracking darts onto an enemy and then just shoot in the air because the bullets will go to the target no matter what. And that in combination with the pretty nice fire rate, the damage, and you got a very strong assault rifle for almost every situation. And if you play the game online, then this weapon is even stronger because all the Atlas weapons were buffed with a hotfix that released around launch. I still feel that overall the Atlas weapons could use more love, but I think that right now this one is the strongest, at least in my experience, and just a ton of fun to use. So keep an eye out for those epic drops. I want to showcase another very strong weapon that you're likely unfamiliar with in a second, but first let's go over an amazing legendary weapon that I just have to talk about. We actually saw this gun in the Molly 1 takedown footage they released during the Borderlands show against the new boss of this raid-like activity. Gearbox used a cryo version, while the weapon seems to appear in almost all the elements except for normal. I got lucky and got a radiation version from a regular enemy in the hack map. It's a roll drop, so it can really drop anywhere. And what is interesting about this gun is that it can have the highest possible item score, 621. Meaning that you got some great weapon parts on it. I also have the increased fire rate, while the fire rate is already 11 shots per second. It's a flat off gun for a reason. No, but the fire rate in combination with the steady damage makes this weapon literally melt the health bars of the enemies. And also shields and armor on Mayhem 3, it really doesn't matter. The gun namely has this extra elemental beam that increases the overall damage. And this is especially amazing against regular enemies that will just drop in no time, and thanks to the radiation, you create this explosion after a kill too, that deals a ton of AoE damage. So you can easily chain to another target that is then already damaged. I prefer other weapons when fighting bosses, although versus Strand here it was actually not that bad. No, but overall it's a very nice all-around assault rifle that I can really recommend to anyone. The damage just always surprises me with this weapon. The next weapon has some things in common with the Faisor. I got one while leveling, but then had a really hard time to get a max level version. At one point though, on level 50, I finally got one again. A corrosive version that was pretty nice against enemies with armor of course. But now I got this incendiary version that totally takes the crown. It's a level 50 anointed one with a long range scope, and we see that a 622 item score again. Like, I only think that just a few weapons can reach that for whatever it's worth, and that's the Faisor and this Lucian skull. And the thing with this flat off assault rifle is that you get 2 ammo back when you do a crit. So then you can just keep shooting when you focus on the crit spot. Especially amazing of course with the fade away ability from Flak, because then all your shots turn into a crit. The fire rate that is increased by 33% makes the weapon even crazier because you don't have to reload. So the faster you shoot, the more damage you do because you don't have the regular downtime of reloading your weapon. It's a very fun weapon to use, but only really strong when you play Flak, in my opinion. The next weapon was brought to my attention by Vikar Adolf on Reddit. It's called the Carbuncle, and it's a blue E-Tech Torgue pistol that Tatislot, and I hope I pronounced that right, was kind enough to send to me so I could highlight it here in this video, and I'm impressed. This weapon shoots 8 bullets at the same time that then explode after a short while, dealing a lot of damage onto the target. You then immediately have to reload again, but it does mean that only one hit is necessary for some serious damage. I got the corrosive version, so obviously it's great against armor from the enemies, but even regular health bars from badass enemies on Mayhem 3 can easily go down with a few shots. It's a very satisfying weapon to use, and you can actually make it better with some skills, like with Flak, you can get ammo back after a crit, meaning that you then do not have to reload the weapon, so that significantly increases your fire rate, also in combination with the Flak fade away, because again, then you always have crits. In the footage from Faisor Adolf on Reddit, and I'll put a link to that in the video description, we actually see another smart tactic. He, by the way, has an incendiary version of this gun, and according to the Borderlands wiki, you can get this weapon as a random drop in many elements, as you see right here. Going back to the tactic from Faisor, you already see it, right? He does a melee before the reload animation is over. So then the crit kinda kicks in, so then he gets the ammo back and can actually shoot again. Something that is faster than playing the whole reload animation. And that's interesting to note, because while the weapon consumes 8 ammo, it doesn't seem to matter that you only get 1 ammo back, you can just keep shooting. I will totally be doing this tactic more often now, it looks pretty interesting. And of course, at one point the Grave Ward will need to rest or will just fall down, and they can focus on the crit spots, and then you actually get the ammo back way faster, so then he can just keep shooting, and that is very powerful indeed. Pretty cool, but even without tactics to get ammo back in your current magazine, I would still recommend this gun, so better keep an eye out for those blue drops too, to see if you can get it, but I will also be giving it away. So all you have to do is drop your PSN in a comment under the pinned comment, and it would of course be nice if you are a subscriber of the channel as well before you enter. Only on PS4 sadly, because I play on PS4, and then I will select a random winner and give you this awesome blue gun. And let's add that other weapon to the pool too. So I will also give away the Q system, because it's also pretty hard to find that one. So we have 2 winners this time, and I will announce the names in a future Borderlands 3 video. And my fearmonger from a previous giveaway was won by Zig Grundle. I will send you a friend request and then mail you the gun. A gun you can very easily get yourself is the Westergun, and you might be familiar with this one already from a previous video, but the thing is that they actually buffed this weapon multiple times since launch. First we got a damage and fire rate increase for all the Molly 1 weapons, and then later they increased the damage of this weapon specifically by 25%, making it now one of the most powerful SMGs in the game. Especially because it has 2 elements, so you can switch depending on the health bar of the enemy. I got a corrosive and incendiary version, so I first start with the corrosive when an enemy has armor, and then switch to the incendiary when I destroy the armor and want to hit the health bar. But you can also get a shock variant of this weapon. Combine that with the great fire rate, and well, I can really recommend this weapon as a good, easy to get legendary to everyone. Because that is the thing, you can just go to one boss and have an almost guaranteed drop. You still need to try the boss of course over and over again to get the right elements and weapon parts, but it's easier than farming for almost any other weapon in the game. Until they of course release those dedicated loot drops that I really expect any day now, or maybe they are already up by the time you watch this video. Either way, for this Westergun you need to kill the Private Beans boss on Athenas that you unlock after the Invasion of Privacy mission from Ava that you get on Sanctuary 3, after you've been to Athenas once. Collect a bunch of stuff for her, complete the quest, and then the boss will always spawn in the sort of graveyard area. Totally let me know what weapons you are currently using in the comments down below. A like on the video would of course be super appreciated, and subscribe to stay up to date on everything Borderlands 3 if you haven't already. You can watch my previous video on a new hotfix that had some awesome changes. You can watch it by clicking on the screen, or I will link to it at the end of our golden chest opening that Dennis and I always like to do at the end of a Borderlands 3 video. Hey Dennis, I found a Q system too. It's not the same as you got, but...
That's definitely a different color. Is it still good though, or did you not try it?
No, I did not try it yet, but yeah, might be.
Oh, maybe we will get a purple one from this, or a legendary would also be nice. Nah, that's just pistols.
What is the blue one though? It did have an E-Tech barrel from the looks of it.
Well, I can check it in my inventory while you have a look at what you get.
No luck.
The white shield returns again.
Yeah.
The white shield.
Once again, it's annoying that this time when exiting fade away create a nova. Okay, no, that's not that interesting. No, we didn't get anything useful this time. Well, Dennis, I'm just shooting this gun, and yeah, then I will just do the outro. Subscribe for subscribe for everything Borderlands 3 if you haven't already. Like the video, of course, to support the channel. And totally check out the video on the recent hotfix and all the things that were changed. And hopefully we get the dedicated loot drops soon, because yeah, they teased them for November. Hopefully we get them in the coming week. We will of course let you know here on the channel. For now, we will speak to you next time, and let's go. Or goodbye.